And we're back with a part 2 of season 6. I am so sorry. I focus a lot on this phone for the battery because this phone drains quicker than this phone. So I kind of lost touch. So we were doing season 6, episode 1. Once again, just establishing the how's the park doing. Randy decided to be a trailer park supervisor. Now, what is kind of cool is we did see, not necessarily having a power chip. See, I had to go to the bathroom. That's why I don't like stop. When I make videos, I like to stop at a precise. Oh, for fuck's sake! This fucks up. See, I like continuing. I don't like taking breaks because then I'm in a. Okay. What did we do? Well, at least we know we're not recording, so let's record. I like not taking breaks because then we just continue, and then when we're done, we're done. Not like, oh, we're not done, so let's continue, right? Let's do this one. We kind of saw Randy relationship with power, and season 2, episode 3, where the boys open up a bar in the trailer park, and because they only invite gay dudes, it kind of is a gay bar, which I think is fucking funny. So then Randy wants to prove himself, which is pretty good. So the first episode is only that we see Leahy realizing that he's been drunk, and he realized that the boys, when they're around him, they fuck up because they're drunk, but he fuck up because he's drunk. I don't know if you guys see this. This is beautiful. I can't show you on this, but this is the first inch of sun we have in months. So, well, in a week at least. This is very, very cool. See, we're recording everything. We're recording the nature. We're playing 3 playthroughs. So it's a lot of work, but man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, right? Okay, so next we have season 6, episode 2, which is a my apologies. Cheeseburger picnic. At the end, Ray gets evicted. He goes to the dump, which does play a part in Trailer Park Boy as a whole, because this is where he finishes life, or his life. He finishes and not legalizes, he's still at the dump. The dump is a big part of signalizing the bad guy. So Cheeseburger Picnic, which is really, really good. Why? Because of the intro. The intro is so freaking weird. It's basically Ren that goes to Bubble and say, hey, I've been having these feelings towards, I've been having these different feelings. And this is basically Randy coming out as bisexual. And Leahy's bisexual too. So, you know, kind of funny because he asks Bubbles. And then Bubbles like, do you have a crush on me, Randy? So it's really, really funny. So they have a cheeseburger picnic, which is basically him starting with, how can I say that? I would say crowning ceremony. Does that make sense? We have one for one of the first time. Leahy doing a confessional, which is really good. We have more of Ricky and Lucy relationship. You see, I'm tired. I don't want to make me content anymore. I'm gonna force myself to pull it through for you guys, but I don't want to do content today. So that's pretty much it. It's not interesting, Ricky and Lucy, because they're constantly on off. They're constantly fighting. In a perfect world, there would be this one relationship, but they have to be this functioning relationship. If they're not functioning, go away. The problem with Lucy and Ricky is they're too much. It's too much of chaos. It's too much of fighting, right? And it's boring because it's the same thing over and over. Drama is fun. Same drama is boring. So you got Leahy comes to see Barb, and it's like, yo, if I drink, I fuck up. The cool thing is, everybody's in the park invited to the trailer to the cheeseburger picnic. I think except for Corey and Trevor. I think it's except for Corey and Trevor. Ricky and Randy are Ricky and Bubbles are saying like we're gonna fuck up the cheeseburger picnic, which is really cool. Ricky, this is great writing. This is really good writing. Ricky is make some prank call to fuck up the picnic, and because of that, this is how we finish the season. Forget about the big drama. This is a good season of Trailer Park Boys. So we have the boys playing pranks. They want to invite Julian. Once again, Julian in this season is very absent. We have Ricky, business, which is Garbage Land, which is super fucking funny because Bubbles has Kitty Land. So what Ricky does, which is smart, is he takes people furniture, puts them on the road, which so it's garbage, and then he picks them up. So it's really cool because he's not technically stealing, or his mind is not stealing, which it is, right? It is. But then even when Leahy follows him, he's like, "Yo, I know what you're doing." So it kind of makes sense. We got the cheeseburger picnic. We have the exact thing in front of us. Cheeseburger picnic. Let's make Sunnyvale to the park a nice place to live. Police and Randy want to talk to you. Let's take control of our park. I love this because so it's kind of complex, but Leahy didn't have a good relationship with the park. Randy has a good relationship with the park, but it's mostly because, and this is more something we see more in the later season, but Ted has a crush on Randy, and Randy serviced him sexually. So yeah, bunch of greasy stuff, bunch of freaking greasy stuff. So they steal some stuff. Pretty simple. We have Ricky and Trevor talking here, and it's nice because you never had those two talking. It's also nice when you have characters that have been there since season 1 that finally talks together. We got the picnic, which kind of fucked up. We see Lucy and we see Sarah get drunk, and this is cool because we often talk about them being drunk, so showing it is something different. We have the picnic, which is basically they're both talking about the police. Ricky is with his father in the dump. So you kind of see the living situation of Ray, which is kind of important because it's one thing to say that Ray's at the dump. It's another thing to say, okay, well, this is where he's living for reals. And when Leahy gets here and says, hey, you live at the dump for real? We can confirm that Ray's living at the dump and is comfortable in some ways. We established the fact that, okay, well, he's truly living and he truly has moved versus saying like, well, last episode he was in the dump, we heard he was in the dump and now he's being taken away from it. It feels more real, it feels more genuine. And again, and a season of 6 episodes is kind of cool. It's kind of cool because you still put in little detail that makes the story believable. We have some nice one between between Bubbles and Julian, which we haven't had in a lot of season. Lucy is flirting with everybody, which is kind of it's not really important. However, it does says why her and Ricky break up. The really cool thing about the picnic is all of this is to serve one simple purpose. There's one simple purpose. Well, there's two purposes. So the first purpose is Ricky scamming people and say, hey, he ordered pizza, he orders burger. He actually hires Sam Losco to do the pavement, and because Sam Losco is hired and he doesn't do the job, he gets fired. Which is the reason how the season ends. Slow spoiler if you don't mind. I'm sorry I'm going fast. I'm at 90%. I'm not going to restart that. If I'm not finishing it right now, I'll finish it tomorrow. And tomorrow I won't have the memories of what happened. Because tonight I'm going to drink some wine. If you don't mind, of course. I might have some edible left. Who knows? Who knows? So the most important part is Sam Losco getting scam and in prison. Second part is Leahy coming in super drunk, making the whole park believe he's a drunken. Now, the cool thing about Leahy coming in drunk at the beginning of this episode, we had Leahy coming in and saying, Barb, I'm going to pretend to be drunk. And we actually see him pretend to be drunk, which is super cool. Funny thing is, Leahy pretending to be drunk is actually John Dunsworth, because he never was drunk on the scene. He's just a brilliant actor, right? So him doing that. And the funniest thing is, when Trailer Park Boys came out, they were growing weed. It wasn't weed. It was another plant that looks like weed. He wasn't drunk. He was drinking iced tea. And Leahy didn't like iced tea. So that's actually kind of funny. And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Am I forgetting something? I don't think so. Oh my god. I had to finish in Piss Jog. So in season 6, we established that Corey and Trevor had a really toxic relationship between Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles and them. So they have this own kind of like a grocery store, right? It's a grocery store. They call it a convenience store, but it's a grocery store. Convenience store, okay, I'm gonna call it convenience store, which is cool. If you play Trailer Park Boy Greasy Money on the application, which is the only mobile game for Trailer Park Boys, which is the clicker game, one of the first minutes that you have is Corey and Trevor convenience store. So that's kind of cool. We established that. So the boys, they go in, and it's funny because there is Steve Roger And the funny thing about Steve Rogers is because I saw the show so often, I know who he is. But we know that he's a celebrity and he covers local news. So we saw him in season 2, episode 2. What the fuck happened to my trailer park? When Sam Lusco goes in and gets elected, or wants to get elected as trailer park supervisor, and then Leahy wins. So we established these characters, and they even talk about, yo, I know you. So the fact that they mentioned like, hey, we saw each other, we know each other from this election. It's not really important right now, but back then it was important because back then there was possibly 4 or 5 years in between season 2 and season 6. So reestablishing, oh, there's a connection here. And the problem with Steve Rogers is Steve Rogers will never be a character that is part of this show. For example, Philadelphia Collins, yes, you need to remind us who you are. Sam Lusco, you need to remind us who you are because we see you, but not often enough, right? Last time we saw Sam Lusco, he had this veterinarian practice. So why is he doing pavements? You're spending time explaining to me who Steve Rogers is, but you don't explain what happened to Sam Lusco. You understand what I mean? Kind of crazy. Season 6 is great because again, I'm gonna repeat myself, but it's what Trailer Park Boys should be. And it's a perfect ending to this show. Okay, cool. We have high definition pitch dog. So then Bubbles comes out and have the Kitty Land Love Center, which is a daycare for cats. Now, the way they put it is actually super cool. Bubble always had this dream of having a cat daycare, but now that Barbara asked him for rent, which nobody did before because he lived in a shed, she's like, okay, well, I gotta find a way to get some money. That's the way you find it. We also know that Ricky sells used furniture or garbage furniture, so he sells garbage land. The funniest moment of the episode is when Bubbles do a confessional and say, hey, Kittyland, you must have gotten the ID from Ricky Garbage Land. It's the other way around. It's so fucking funny because people will say, oh, yeah, it's Ricky, just Bubbles, just copy it. No. Bubbles a brain, right? So I love it. It's actually really nice. The episode in itself is actually really nice because you kind of have this picture perfect of the season. There's very small elements that serve so many purposes. So, for example, we established in season and episode 1 that Ray's biggest problem in the park was he had piss jug. So he was a truck driver, and because he didn't have time, he pissed on the jug and then he threw it on the road. So he did it on the trailer park, right? And then Leahy, because he's drunk, they saying, hey, pick up the piss jug and bring it to the dump, which actually leads Leahy to find out that Ray lives in the dump, which is super important in this very episode. What else? Randy has a chance to prove that he's a good supervisor. It's a big deal for the park, so Barbara put pressure on him. What else? We got Ricky use stuff, which would be important, but it's not important because it's not something that we see often. So we basically see Ray and Leahy, which is the most important part of it. The greatest thing is this kind of a historical moment. So Trailer Park Boys is a really old show. And when we have high definition pitch jog, some of the channel on cable would have high definition shows. So it's kind of historical in a sense of this really was the start of high definition TV, which was really cool. We have the boys, and the funniest thing with Corey Trevor is they're promoting their convenience store, so you're kind of happy for them, but at the same time they're promoting RIP DVD and single cigarettes, which is illegal, right? So they're saying like, oh, this DVD didn't even come out. So Steve Rogers is like, oh, you just admit to steal DVDs. But then Sarah says, no, this is what we have. And this is a props to Sarah. She comes in this situation. And Sarah, although I would like to see more of Sarah, every single time that we see her, she's fixing the situation. May it be Lucy, Ricky, may it be Corey, Trevor. There's a lot of situations that she fixes, which we love. She does have a bigger part, and the later season. The problem with Sarah is her real name is Sarah Dunsworth. The real name of Mr. Leahy is John Dunsworth. She was the daughter of Jim, and these two couldn't play together because I don't know. I remember there was a story about it. I think it was Jim was too protective, and Jim was she had a hard time being the character in front of her father. She wanted to be herself in front of her father. So yeah, or I think it was Jim, the other way around. Jim didn't want to be seemingly drunk in front of Sarah, which is super funny. There's even a scene where Leahy he says he's drunk and he's standing with Corey and Trevor, and Sarah's like, "Why are you guys fighting?" And Leahy's like, "Oh, they called Randy horrible name." And then Sarah's like, "Okay, well, I'll apologize and we can have some stuff for free." So I really like that. And again, it's still Corey and Trevor own shit. It's still Corey and Trevor business, but she's just there to help. We have Randy finding off. The funniest thing is they see the show and Mandy suck up his gut, which is so fucking funny because Randy sucking up his gut is not a good joke. It is a good joke because you're watching a show where you're pretending that's real life and you're pretending that they seeing the character suck up his gut. So it's the reaction of this effort to hide something, but we know. So what I'm trying to say is we see Randy for who he is every single day, but on television you don't see him often. So when you do see him on television in the show, he suck up his gut. So he's pretending to be someone he's not when we know who he is. That's why it's funny. So that is pretty much it. We have the Kitty Center, which is really cool. We have Bubble, who was intimidated by Steve Rogers, which is also really fucking funny. Next episode is Oscar Goldman. Oscar Goldman is kind of boring. It's kind of a boring episode, but again, on 6 episodes, if you have one episode that's not that good, it doesn't matter. So Trinity has a college project. Oscar Goldman, what is my problem with Oscar Goldman in this episode? Oscar Goldman feels like an episode to give people that didn't have screen time. So for example, we have more time with Trevor, who actually has so basically Trinity, which we haven't saw the whole season, who's now fully grown by the way. I think she's like 15 or 16. She has a product because she's gonna fail, and she has this chicken, and she raised a chicken, right? And the funniest thing is, it's so fucked up. It is so fucked up, but in a good sense, right? There is actually, when you think about it, I can sell you this episode easily. I don't like this episode, but I can sell it to you. So seeing Oscar Goldman is Ricky has a chance to be a good father to help his daughter out. Trevor has the chicken kind of disappear. Bubbles let the chicken go because Bubble has a traumatic experience with the chicken. So he's afraid of chicken, which again is the character of Bubbles. Sad thing is we never see Bubble talk about that after. So what was the point? However, there's a good episode because Ray doing a dump because of Randy. Leahy telling everybody at the during the documentary of Channel 10. So basically when they were saying, hey, come visit Corey and Trevor convenience store. Come visit Kitty Love Center. The Love Center working well. The kitty Bubbles has a lot of kitty, so it's perfect. So Leahy kind of crossed the shit line again. We know the shit line what it is. He kind of crossed the shit line because he tells everybody that Ricky's doing a dump, which is illegal. So then Ricky's like, help me, Dad, I need to find a chicken. Ray kind of uses Ricky to get back at Jim Leahy. He says it's at the Leahy's house. So then Ricky destroys Leahy's house and it's like, where's the fucking chicken? Leahy has no idea. So this is kind of a shitty move from Ray. But again, why do I like this? It's a shitty move from Ray and I hate it. However, to me this is cross the shit line. Don't need to be doing something dramatic. Do something simple like, hey, you fuck with me, I fuck with you. We're even. As easy as that. This is the true don't cross the shit line, which we love. Okay. See, I'm trying to hurry up because we're at 10% batteries. Oh, I'm not gonna have the time. Fuck you. So we have funny moment because they're going into the dump. Ricky gets his dick bitten by a snake. Trevor's like, gonna suck the poison out, and Ricky's like, you wanna suck my, So it's actually fucking funny. We got more of Trevor and Ricky working together, and again, it does feel a bit forced, but it's a nice change of pace. It's two characters that weren't supposed to be together, that work together. The funniest thing about this episode is they actually go on the hunt for chicken, which is something I wouldn't find interesting. But if it wasn't for Trailer Park Boys, I think it's interesting. Now look at this is the funniest part. Look at this. That's how cold it is. Is that it? Listen to this. right away, right away. Julian doesn't have his shirt on. He's working out and he wants you to have a drink with him, and then Lee comes out. That is so fucked. That is so fucked up. There's a really cool scene where they go in, they have this project, and it's nice because this is the first time we see Ricky in a school for his daughter. So they raise Oscar. She gets a good grade and she passes, so it's really fucking nice. That is the episode. That is the episode. We have Halloween 1977, which is possibly the most important episode ever. So again, this is where we have Randy asking Bubbles about sexuality, because Randy's in love with Sarah. I get it. Sarah, she's hot. It's kind of crazy. So Leahy, when he was drunk, told Randy what happened. Why he was truly out of the police force. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna charge the phone. I don't have a choice. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to finish. I like doing videos outside because I'm Canadian, in case you guys didn't notice, but we spend the whole fucking winter inside, and I'm like, dude, I don't have a choice. So when I do have a choice to make videos outside, I do them outside, right? I live in a small apartment. I live in 1.5. So it gets cramped up pretty quickly. 5%. However, we're good. So Halloween 1977 is so fucking important. And I don't need the computer, I can tell you by heart. So, Randy needs proof to get the boys to jail. And, so what happened is, kind of crazy. He gets evidence. It's so fucking good. So basically, we learn what happened to truly happen to Leahy. So Leahy was always this guy who was kicked out of the force. We never know what happened. So we know the event. So the funniest thing is you got the three characters, which is Ricky, Bubble, and Julian telling their story. Ricky tells that it's Julian and Bubble's fault. Julian was drunk, so he doesn't remember. Bubble tells the truth. And this is so important because there's the genesis of what happened. This is why Bubbles respect Leahy, because Bubble feels bad about what happened. He was a good cop, and because of the boys, he lost his place. So basically what happened is 3%. Fuck, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Fuck. I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. So what happened is the boys were drinking alcohol at a very young age. Leahy confiscated the bottle. He went back to his cop car. He got into a accident. The bottle fell on him. Because the bottle fell on him, he was drunk. He wasn't drunk. He smelled like alcohol. And then George got him arrested, which kicked him out of the force. He was never guilty. He was just trying to protect us. And the craziest thing that Bubble says was Jim was nice to us. Jim was really, really, really nice to us. We fucked him over. We destroyed his life. We ruined his life. Right? You give me a sec. I finally remember. I was watching it. I rewatched it. Such a good moment. Oh my god, I completely forgot about it. So we got, like I said, everything I said is true. Now, the reason as to why was because Randy started evicting people from the park. So it's kind of cool because the park was kind of shitty. Before, without Ricky and Julian, people don't pay their rent, people don't pay what they owe. They're kind of just like, oh, Leahy is going to allow us. Leahy will allow it. Leahy will allow it, right? And then, my apologies. What ended up happening is they kick out the old couple who has this recording that proved that Leahy was innocent, was completely innocent. And this is, to me, this is the greatest moments in the Trailer Park Boys 14 season. It is the most important part. I'm going to tell you first. First, Randy evicts J-Rock. And now, the funniest thing is, Randy starting to evict a lot of people. He evict J-Rock, he evict Ray. He evict this old couple. And Leahy is playing the drunk, and he's playing the drunk, and he's playing the drunk, and he does a really good job. But he breaks character. So he breaks character in the sense of he doesn't act drunk. When Randy say, I kicked out this old couple. And then Leahy's like, you cannot kick them out. They've been in this park before you were born, Randy. And now Randy's like, I don't give a fuck. They weren't paying. So fuck him. Right? So then Leahy find this and he's like, yo, I need you to, whatchamacallit? Leahy's like, I need you to testify. So this is going to be important. This is going to be important because it makes a peace bond in between the boys and everything, which is really, really, really fucking cool. So Bubbles like, yo, I need you to leave the boy and us alone. And Leahy's like, yeah. See, you got those three guys talking about it.
Fucking oh my god. Now we did it. And Leahy's caught.
CGPO and the three Chewbacca.
All he wanted was take Julian's liquor because Julian was drinking big time back then. Julian fought him for it, and liquor ended up getting spilled all over Leahy in his uniform.
There you go.
He finally got the liquor, got back to his car, was trying to get his car unstuck from the trailer, reverse it. Liquor spilled all over his crotch. Next thing you know, George Green shows up, and he was Leahy's partner. He's the stupidest cop there is, and thought Leahy was drunk, pissed himself. And it didn't look like he was drunk and pissed himself, but he wasn't drunk. I don't think he even pissed himself at all, so it was
Misunderstanding.
started saying, listen, George, this isn't what it looks
I
like.
love this.
Told him he was drunk, and as they started arguing, all that did was make Leahy look more drunk and crazy than he actually was back then. Next thing, Leahy's under arrest, and it was our fault.
Look, this is the important part.
Choices, Leahy. Mr. Leahy used to be nice.
Look, this is the most important part. This is really important.
Started arguing, all that did was make Leahy. Came down to two choices, and Leahy, well,
Resign.
resigned. I just can't believe that Julian Bubbles.
See, Ricky blamed Bubbles and Julian.
He lost his career. He lost his marriage. Went down the tubes.
This is the most honest the boys has been.
He lost his mind. Mr. Leahy used to be nice back then, and we turned him into a drunk, crazy lunatic.
Unless I'm right there, all on or what? Save Jim. It was dynamite. Excellent.
So now, so this is the most important part. Basically, he brings the proof that no, I wasn't drunk. I didn't drink that night. This is what really happened. But and Ted, who tells them, Leahy, you'll need somebody to testify that you're a good cop. So Leahy will go to Randy, but Randy will say fuck you. So then, weirdly speaking, the next person that he's thinking about is Bubbles, which is in Trailer Park Boys season 6, episode 6. Bring my cash back or Randy is dead. So long story short, very long story short, what happened in season 6, episode 5? Randy starting to kick people out and kicking them out, and it doesn't work, and he's turning the park to shit, right? And Leahy says the right thing. He says Leahy's like, and this is why season 6 is so good. The ending is so good. It's the perfect ending for the series of Trailer Park Boys. He tells Randy, you cannot have a park without park resident, which is absolutely right. So he kicks him out. He sees Sarah and he gets a love relationship with. He falls in love with Sarah. She's not down for him. And it's weird because I think that Randy was trying to prove himself, and because he was trying to prove himself, that's why he fell for Sarah. Because Sarah is also one of the most powerful women in the park. See, the woman in the park, and I'm sorry to say, I'm going to say something outrageous. This was back in the 2000s. There's not a lot of female characters. Out of the main cast, there's 4 female. Well, no, there's 5 female characters. There's Trina. There's Trinity. There's Trinity. There's Trina. Let's put them in order. There's Lucy. There's Sarah, and there's Barbs. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. I'm not forgetting anybody. Oh, well, Miss Peterson, but Mr. Peterson, we don't see her. We see the wife of Mr. Lacey. That was in season 1, so we don't see them again. Lucy is with Randy. Lucy is with Ricky. Sorry. Barb, she is kind of a bitch. So it's complicated. Barb is not a bitch, but okay. So Barb isn't a bitch, but because her link. Okay, fuck. Barb isn't a bitch because her link to the park is through Jim Leahy, and she treats Jim Leahy's like shit. We think that she's a bitch. She seemed like a bitch. So for example, if you Mrs. Peterson, our link to Mrs. Peterson is fucking Julian, and she treats Julian's right. So because she treats Julian right, we see her as a good person. If we got this character that comes in and they're nice to the character that we like, we don't care. Leahy is a beloved character of the series, so because she's mean to Leahy, we hate her, but we don't hate her. She's actually pretty cool. Barbara Leahy. Well, she's special. So yeah, so Leahy, Randy started to kick people out, and that's a shame. But season 6, he asked Bubble, and this is super important. So Bubble is in the dump. Bubble actually strike a deal of gold. Leahy had a chance to come back as a trailer park supervisor. The episode start. Ray is buried down the dump, which is important because it shows like, okay, well, Ray's situation is not good at all. That's important. So we re-see the situation, but Leahy comes in and says, "Deal, I'm telling you, deal. I'm going to show you the deal because it's super cool."
You agree to
Era of peace in Sunnyvale. I promise. I won't fuck over the boys anymore. Promise.
You prepared to put that in writing in a legal document?
Yeah.
All right, so these are the conditions. You agree to deal with Randy and calm him down. He thinks he's so fucking big these days.
See, because he's spying on
Randy's
people.
coming back to the park. He's going to be the assistant trailer park supervisor. And you agree not to fuck with the boys and let them grow dope and sell to the guys in jail.
All right, Bubbles.
No, I want something.
See, but in this case, tell me one of the what was the one condition in this one which was actually bad. Ray coming back as assistant trailer park supervisor doesn't matter because Leahy will not be a trailer park supervisor. Leahy will be a police officer, so maybe Randy will be the trailer park supervisor. So Ray being an assistant doesn't really matter. The boys growing dope. It doesn't even matter if Leahy fucking agrees because the boys will grow dope. Selling to the jail. How does the jail affect us? It doesn't. So actually, pretty good deal.
Reflective service.
So then, what is that?
Good job, boys. Ricky's going to be impressed with you guys.
Okay, yeah, so Julian is buying trailer and refurbishing it. He buys, I think he buys, doesn't buy Ray's old trailer, but he buys a trailer for Ray and Ricky, and then he makes it, and then this trailer will be used to grow dope. And Corey and Trevor actually put out a decent place to grow the dope. And the coolest thing is, you did see Ricky make an effort with Corey and Trevor. Julian has forgiven them a long time ago, but Ricky didn't. And it's all a question of they treated badly Corey and Trevor, which pushed Corey and Trevor to have a low self-esteem. But they have a low self-esteem. They got used by Barbara to sell the park. They were broke, which makes some fighting, but then they're back together, which is cool. So they build this trailer for Ricky, and they have this whole place down as a what should we call it? It's so nice, bro. As a grow operation. So at the recital of Leahy. See, I'm already forgetting the episode. We have also Barbara, who she sees Jim being reinstated. So she's like, because you're reinstated, we can come back together. Bubbles tells the boy that the peace agreement with Bubbles and Ricky and Julian. We got Julian giving the surprise to Ricky, and Ricky actually telling Corey and Trevor, "Yo, you guys did a good job," which is possibly the coolest thing they did. Now, the greatest thing that happened is the celebration. They say, "Corey, Trevor, you did a good job. I'm having this party. Want to come?" Which is something that Ricky would have never done. Which is sad because after season 6, Corey and Trevor leave the show because of personal problem. So apparently, Corey and Trevor were being treated badly behind the scene. Now, there's no proof of that. There's no proof. Everybody doesn't agree on it. It's kind of weird. The people say no, it's not true, or they don't say nothing. If everybody was agreeing that they weren't being treated as badly, you wouldn't say shit. But because you don't know, it's kind of hard to say, right? So that's pretty much it. We have Leahy coming back at the police officer. Give me a sec. I'll show you.
Criminals. These are my tapes.
I love this.
What's going on here, Randy?
Look at this.
Making an arrest, Mr. Leahy, with the video footage you took. Why are you dressed as a cop?
Because he is a policeman, Randy.
Officer Leahy was reinstated barely an hour ago.
At a hearing that you refused to attend, Randall. These are my tapes. They were stolen from my premises. Therefore, Ted, you know they're not admissible as evidence.
That true, Randy? Break and enter?
Yeah, I stole the tapes, Ted, but they're friggin' criminals.
Let him go. We've got nothing here this time.
But Ted, the trailer. Let's look at the trailer.
No, I think we've seen enough. Welcome back, Jim.
Thanks, Ted.
And I'm disappointed in you, Randy. It's fucking with you, Randy.
See, this is so fucking important. You see the way he shook Randy's hand? Ricky, okay, so I cannot tell you because it's gonna spoil, but this moment is important. Just remember this moment. So Leahy has this deal with the boys. They're not gonna go to jail. Leahy the whole season was pretending to be drunk so the boys wouldn't be as wary of him and say, "Oh, fucking Leahy is drunk. We can do whatever we want," right? Which is something we heard the boys say multiple times. So then Leahy records them, and the plan is to get them to go to jail. But then Leahy becoming a police officer, see, it's weird. I don't know if Leahy becoming a police officer makes him think that he's gonna control the boys better, or just make him a bigger authority. So you respect authority. The boys didn't respect Leahy as the trailer park supervisor. Do they respect Leahy as a cop? Maybe. Just maybe. And Leahy, once again, Leahy takes away, put him back as a police officer. He doesn't go crazy. Because he doesn't go crazy, he controls his drinking. And because he controls his drinking, he's actually chill. See, the boys, yes, I'll admit that the boys fuck with Leahy more than Leahy fuck with the boys. But it's a give and give. It's a cat and mouse, right? Now they coexist. So then what happened is, because of Ricky calls Sam Losco. I gotta say, Ricky is my MVP in season 6. He fucks up a lot, but for the first time ever, he fixes mistakes. He fixes his mistake. So see, Randy, that's the craziest thing. That is the craziest thing. Randy, if he went to the tape, if he went to the hearing of Leahy and help him get back in the force, Leahy would have never signed a deal with the boys. And the boys would be in jail. He would have won. They would have won. But Randy didn't want to help. Then Losco come back, Sam Losco, and say, "Hey, I want my money." And then he thinks that Randy is behind it when it's Ricky that made the joke. Because Ricky made the joke, Sam lost his job and lost his income. So Sam's like, "I want my money." So he kidnaps fucking Randy, and then Leahy gets drunk to celebrate his resettlement in the force. And the coolest thing is, he tells Ricky, "I know." So technically speaking, this is so important because, yes, the show's about Julian, right? But technically also about Ricky and Bubbles. Bubbles is a character that gets a lot of screen time, but isn't a leader. Ricky is also a leader, less of a leader than Julian, but still a leader. So then we have the moments where he gets. This is probably one of my favorite moments, and it's this. So you got Leahy and Ricky. And like, "Yo, I know what you did." And that the craziest thing is, he chooses Ricky to come and get Randy because he know that Ricky was behind the call. He's like, "Yo, you kind of fucked up. Help me get Randy. This is your fault too." And Ricky's like, I'm with my family, dude." And Leahy's like, "I'll arrest you." And like, "Okay, well, I'll help you." So then they get drunk together. And this is one of the sweetest moments. So Ricky's like, "Yo, I'm sorry, Sam. This is my fault." So they kind of save Randy, which is super cool. And Ricky is actually doing the right thing and saying, "Hey, I'm guilty." You could have just said, "Fuck you." Okay, so this is also super important. I love this moment.
Thanks a lot, bud. Fun drinking with you.
Actually, I had a really good time getting drunk with you.
Give you a lift home, bud?
Yeah, sounds good. You know what, Jim? You want to quit the liquor? Start smoking dope. Buy it off me.
See, I want this relationship because that beef, they had beef, but at the end, they're both willing to go for Trailer Park. They both love Sunnyvale. Ricky loves Sunnyvale. Leahy loves Sunnyvale. Ray loves Sunnyvale. It was always a war, but we don't need to be at war. See, my favorite moments of the show is when the boys, they go with Leahy and they fight off Cyrus. They go out. Or, for example, my favorite episode, and I gotta say it once, I'm gonna say it 1,000 times, my favorite episode is Bible Pimp. It's funny, the story is good, but at the end, they actually go together against Bible Pimp that's fucked over this park. Nobody fucks with Sunnyvale, right? So that's actually super cool. So the ending is also super nice. You got Ray as assistant trailer park supervisor. Doesn't do shit. He loved the job. Everybody that was kicked out of the park was reinstated. Barbara, Leahy, and Randy becomes a throuple. And the best part is, they come back. The Kittyland Center is booming. It's really cool. Leahy is being chill with the boys. It's what I wanted. This would be the perfect ending for Trailer Park Boys. This would have been the perfect ending because there's no war, there's no fighting. Everybody's in a good place. Everybody gets along. The trailer park is on peace. Not because, see, the problem with the problem with the Trailer Park Boys, the main enemy is always Leahy. There's Cyrus, but it's always Leahy. The problem is Leahy doesn't think. Well, Ricky didn't show him that he could improve. It could change. So Leahy's like, as long as Ricky is there, as long as Julian is here, there's no peace. So he constantly goes against the boys, and the boys strikes back, right? But the second that they start cohabiting inside, they have this peaceful season, they have this peaceful ending. See, every single ending of Trailer Park Boys finished the same way. The boys go back to jail. This time, none of the boys go back to jail. None of the boys. They all live in a trailer park and they're having fun. Bubble has a successful business. Julian did something really good. Ricky is growing and selling dope. That was the perfect ending. Fuck season 7, fuck season 8, fuck season 9, fuck season 10, fuck all of the season except for 6. No. The show could have finished at 6. I would have been happy. It was a perfect ending. The perfect ending. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys go because I'm at 3% and I cannot move because I'm fucking charging the phone. I'll see you guys tomorrow with season 7. Now, please, before I leave you guys, please, I want to establish something. We're gonna take a break from Trailer Park Boys. So I'm gonna do season 6 tomorrow. Then we'll see season 7 tomorrow. Then on Monday I might have a new job. I don't know. They're gonna call me to confirm. If I get a new job, I won't have enough time to watch the show. So it's gonna go next weekend. However, I want to take a day off to watch the movies, the special, and the specials. So that's all the way from Christmas special to Live in Austin. And we'll do that. And then we'll do season 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I wasn't sure about doing the animated series. I'm gonna do it. I do have a bad news for you guys. And this is the bad news, and I'm sorry. My plan was, okay, I got some good news and I got some bad news. I had plans to read the Chick Dictionary with you guys. However, I'm seeing the price, forget about it. It's fucking $700, $800. I'm not gonna pay for that shit. I'm sorry. Now, I am gonna be recapping the podcast. So I'll see you guys for that. Anyway, love you guys. Season 6 in the box, really good season. Season 7, I don't really like it. Season 8 is okay. The rest is okay. Trailer Park Boys feels different after Swordnet. It feels more childish. I don't know.